Excellent. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so my name is Sean. I'm a conversion rate expert here at the Ecommerce shop, and I'm joined by Puneet, who heads up our marketing. For this webinar today, we're going to be talking about GEO versus SEO, how to optimize for search and conversions. And it's a practical webinar for e-commerce teams ready to win AI search visibility. Okay, and today we're going to be talking about the introduction. So let's do a reality check. So 1 in 5 shoppers now use AI to find products before even touching Google. So think about your voice assistants, your search assistants, your Google, your Siri. A lot of people are just searching now, asking them natural language questions. They're not going directly to Google. So people are going, like I said, to ChatGPT, where they're saying, like, what's the best wireless earbuds for working out? And you got to, why does that matter? Because if you're not appearing in the AI results, you're invisible. So, like when buyers are searching Perplexity, when they're looking for Vitamax versus the Ninja Blender, think, are you appearing in those sources? Are you cited there? If you don't exist within those search results, then you're invisible and people are missing you. You're missing out. And it's not a branding problem, it's a data structure problem. So in this webinar, we're going to tell you some of the snags local businesses are facing when it comes to adapting for GEO and how you can fix it and how you can appear in those GEO results. So here's what we're covering today. We're going to be looking at where AI-driven product queries are actually happening, why your store is invisible and the diagnostic framework around it, how to fix it. We're looking at product pages, collections, catalog, and structure. The signals that make AI cite you over the competitors. We're going to look at real case studies, fashion retailers, and sports equipment stores. There's a 4-phase implementation roadmap that we'll lay out for you, and then how to measure your AI visibility and tie it to revenue. As you know, right now there is an AI search shift. Think about what's happened in the past 6 months, even compared to the past year. People aren't searching like they used to when the internet first came out. They're not going to Google. They're not using terms. They're using natural language and they're asking questions. They're using their AI assistants. So if you think of it back in the day, people would go to like Google or Amazon, Walmart, larger areas and hubs where they would search directly for the product that they wanted. Now people are asking questions to their AI assistants like ChatGPT, Perplexity, or an AI overview like, hey, what's the best running shoes for me for plantar fasciitis? So AI captures the consideration phrase. So the moment buyers decide what to buy before they decide where to buy it. So if you're not in that conversation in the beginning, you're not in the consideration set. So here are some things that the query types that will trigger AI results. So you're looking at like your best, the category, and the use case. For example, like best coffee maker for small apartments, and the AI platforms that are going to respond to either ChatGPT, Perplexity, or AI overview. If you're looking for a product-to-product comparison, that's going to take you to Perplexity or an AI overview. If you're looking at how to choose something like how to choose a mattress for back pain, that would take you to something like ChatGPT, AI overview, and so on. So at this point, I want to tell you a little bit of a story that I went through recently. As a hobby, I like to play video games and sometimes I like to stream. I had purchased a new tablet. I'm not really a PC person anymore, just a lot of headache in the past. So I usually play on my PlayStation 5, which is great because it has native streaming capability to local streaming services like Twitch or YouTube. But when I bought the tablet, I said, hey, let me upgrade. I feel like I want to start gaming on a Switch. But how do I get that Switch onto non-native platforms like Twitch or YouTube? Because it's not just a quick plug and play software integration. There is a hardware piece that's needed. And because it's working with a tablet, it was more challenging for me. So I had to go to my chat AI assistant and say, hey, here's a Samsung tablet I have. I'm trying to stream on Twitch and I want to use this device. Like, what do I need? And it laid out an overview for me step by step. It's like, you need this type of capture card. You need these software programs and all that. So when I went to confirm, I started looking, I was like, okay, next step, I need a capture card. Let me go to Best Buy, see what they have. In the product descriptions on Best Buy for the different capture cards, it wasn't specific if those capture cards were going to work with my specific tablet because I needed a USB-C, which is unique in a USB-C that could handle video. So that whole process, lots of internet searching, went into Best Buy, spoke to a rep in the store. The rep in the store said, no, that's not possible. You can't do it with the USB-C. Went back home, did more research, did more digging, did more work with AI, found the solution where, yes, I can stream from a tablet. I ended up getting the capture card. And now, hey, problem solved, but really there was a gap there. Best Buy product page, the description didn't have the information that I needed. The store clerk wasn't as educated. So AI saved me, but it was more of a lift for me as a consumer. So keep that in mind as we're going through the slides and going through the presentation. Where's your data housed? Is it easy to access? What is it like for consumers navigating the process? So keep all those in the back of your mind. So for example, like I'm saying, if which of your products and are they vulnerable? So high AI query vulnerabilities. So products that are sold on specs, like a Garmin versus Apple Watch for runners, products with multiple use cases, like blenders for smoothies versus soups, products with learning curves, how to choose an espresso machine or how to stream from a particular device, which was my learning curve, and then high consideration purchases like the best standing desk for a home office. Ask yourself, what questions do buyers ask before they buy your products? And those questions are now being asked to AI. So really, you want to understand your products, understand your consumers, and make sure that all the data is formatted in the way that can be picked up by AI. And that's what we're going to guide you through here today. So as I said, map your query exposure. So list your top 10 products by revenue. For each, write the best product for use case query a buyer would ask, and then search each query in ChatGPT and Perplexity, and then document. Like, are you cited? Are your competitors popping up? What content are they pulling from? So for example, you have like resistant bands. And what's the best resistant band for a home workout? Or an office chair, best ergonomic chair for long hours? Or in my case, it was what capture device can I use to stream from a tablet to this specific streaming platform? Okay, so now we're going to talk about some reasons why your store is invisible. So it's not your product really, as I said before, it's your data and how your data is structured. AI doesn't crawl an index like Google. AI builds knowledge from structured, entity clear, relationship rich sources. So in this reality, your espresso machine page says Pro X5000. AI doesn't know it's an espresso machine. Your specs are buried in paragraph 4. The AI can't extract or compare them. Your collection page is just a product grid. AI doesn't know what the category is for. So AI can't recommend what it can't understand. As I was saying, when I knew what specifics I needed for that capture card, it wasn't recommending Best Buy's product page because that information wasn't there on the page. If it was, it wasn't in a place where AI could capture it and find it. So think, even those big box stores and big box retailers, they have room to go when it comes to GEO and appearing in those results. So the 5 GEO gaps, as we said, it's entity clarity. Does the AI know what the product is? Not just what it's called. Attribute structure. Are the specs machine readable or buried in prose? And then there's the use case mapping. Does content connect products to buyer problems? And then relationship signals. Can AI understand how products relate to categories? And those trust markers, sorry. Does AI have reason to cite you over those competitors? So we're speaking from over 500 plus GEO audits that we've completed. And what we've seen is that 9 in 10 stores had products where the AI couldn't interpret. So there's like a model name with no product type or use case or buyer signals invisible to AI for the first line. 87% of the product pages had specs written as marketing paragraphs. So it's buried in prose, it's not going to be picked up. AI can't extract or compare those across product pages. So think of maybe FAQs might be what you want to break it down into. 95% of collection pages were product grids only. There's no context, no signal for AI. It's just seeing an unstructured grid. So no intro, no comparison, no category content. The AI doesn't have anything to work with. And then 4 and 5 had 0 buying guidelines or comparison content. So it's completely absent from the queries that drive purchase decisions. And nearly all had strong Google presence, but 0 AI referral traffic. Again, this is where there's that huge divide between SEO and GEO. They are entirely different systems, and more stores are only optimizing for one. So they're saying, isn't all this the best SEO practices too? Maybe except for 4. So there will be some overlap with this, but really, again, like I said, we're highlighting what's going to make you pop for GEO, because so there is some overlap, but not everything is going to relate. It's not going to be a one-to-one correlation, and we're going to focus in on the GEO and how to get in those GEO results and trust it. So, as I said, we performed over 500 GEO audits. There's a QR code, you can scan that. And if you are interested, we're giving out the complimentary audits for GEO. Schedule time with us, and we'd love to review your site and give you personalized feedback and review the audit results that we present, that we gather for you. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Puneet, who's our marketing person, and he's going to talk about how to fix this and guide us through the rest of the process with the webinar.
Thanks, John. Hope I'm audible.
Yep, you're good. Can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. So, Steve, your question, isn't this all best SEO practices too? Yes, I would say yes. And if you see the title of our webinar, which says GEO versus SEO, I would say it's a kind of a term where we are saying we are heading towards. SEO is the past and GEO is the future, and we are somewhere in the middle. But yes, we are heading towards it. SEO is a foundation. So whatever SEO best practices definitely has to apply, but then there are a few more things which we need to add for better GEO visibility, and that's what we are going to cover today. And this is what I will talk about, how to fix, and we'll probably do a little bit of we'll give you tasks as well. So maybe in next couple of weeks there are a few action items which you can try on your own brand websites, and you can see where you are, right? So about how to fix, of course, since this is an improvement from SEO, the pages are the same, the content would remain the same, but the way you're writing the content would be a bit of different. And the way AI bots are reading your pages would be a little different. So what we are going to cover today is we talk about the product pages and your catalog pages or collection pages. They are important on any website and any other content if you're writing. So you can refer to these signals. So what we are going to do is run this test on maybe 10 of your product pages or PDPs we can talk about. And what you need to do here is to check the title, which is, of course, one of the SEO best practices. But the advanced part is we need to start adding the attributes here. So if you see the product type and attribute, hydration pack, 2 liter for trail running. So that's where we are adding the product type and the attributes for this particular product. This is just an example. You can pick top 10 products for your brands and then start seeing in that way that whether it's really written this way or not. Description is another important part, but then what we need to add it is who is it for? Normally, what we write descriptions in SEO is more detail about product, adding a few keywords there in terms of category and all. But in the GEO's case, what we need to do is we need to add a different variation, which is like, who is it for? So that's where AI can figure that out well, that whatever question is being asked to AI, what is that intent of a user? And based on that intent, it can pick your content. So a description is important from that point. And then specs. Of course, specs should be structured, not in the regular paragraph, which we write, okay, here is, this is probably, these are the dimensions, this is the depth, this is the width, and all that stuff. No, it's better to give in a tabular form with all the details, capacity, weight, material, compartments, everything, so that AI can read it, can understand that, hey, here is the information, and I can quickly capture that, right? Now, all these things, what we are saying is regularly is available in all the good SEO websites, but then they need to be presented well with better schemas. What we used to do earlier was maybe we were missing some schemas on the pages. Okay, product schema might not be needed if we are adding good description, title, SEO keywords, and all that stuff. But now the schema is important. So product schema, anything if you want to include offers or if you want to include reviews, we would recommend have all these schemas there on the page, on each of the page, wherever you want to really, promote those pages and all that stuff. So FAQ is definitely another one which is important, and I think we'll talk more about those in the coming slides. So this is another important schema which you should add on the product pages. That's what Sean was talking about. Think of the questions which people might be asking to AI about your product, and your product should be cited or visible in AI responses. That's where the schema is important, and internal links to your guides or best products. Definitely, that's part of the best practices in SEO. But again, we need to really focus on that. So all those things which were initially just the kind of best practices, now they are kind of mandatory, I would say. And then there are additional things. Moving to the collection page. So
Oh, sorry,
collection
we had
page.
two questions come in on that slide.
I'm sorry.
First is, this is a very specific to product listing and search. What if your business is a service company?
Okay, so
So
we are
is this
talking.
only product? Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, John.
I was just going to clarify. So we're talking, is this only for products, or can this also apply to businesses that are a service company?
Yeah, there would be applied to business and services company. There would be specific schemas for that. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then last question is, are we talking about meta descriptions? I think this was back on the previous slide when you were talking about make the more robust description.
Yes, of course, Steve. So we are talking about meta descriptions. So we are talking about meta descriptions as well as description of your product on the page itself. So wherever it's possible, just write it in that way. If your meta description is missing, AI engines can automatically pick the description from your page. So ensure that the page or product description on the page is written for humans and it can be read. So, Sean, what I can do is, yeah, let me just go back. Sorry. So we were talking about collection page. So let's talk about the collection page now in a bit. So here we were just initially thinking that, okay, this is a good page where we are presenting all our products in a, you know, in a proper format, and we are giving all the product name, price, add to cart button, and all that is fine. So here we do have an opportunity which we are losing on the table is we might be missing some content about the category, and that's where we need to add a few details. Collection page should be treated as a real page where you think that, okay, you might have around 100 or 200 products, and you can have 5 or 6 different collection pages based on the categories. I would say let's focus on those 5 or 6 different collection pages itself, because that's where AI engines can really use your brand to get you best users for you or best customers for you. So how to do that is, of course, a few things common with the product pages, but then again, we are talking about here as a comparison content on the page. So please do that. An example here for the product is maybe about, if we're talking about a shoe, compare the cushioning or any other stuff related to your category. FAQ section with the category level question. Yes, that's where we need to focus on. So collection page would have its own identity. So collection page would be just identity for that particular category, talking content. Any questions people might be asking about that category, that's the opportunity for us. Because the product FAQs and the product content would be related to product mostly. And this is where we would try to get more, I would say, generic keywords related to that category can be covered here. Um, Collection page or item list schema, they are definitely important. So these are, so more structured we are on our pages, whether it's a product page or a collection page, that's what AI wants. because AI cannot read just the content and decide, okay, what should I show? But if we give AI the signals that, hey, these are the schemas, just follow this and find your details from here, AI can really rely on our content because would understand that, hey, we are really good in our game. So that's what these are the signals we need to provide to AI. And what most collection pages have is normally a product grid plus filters and nothing else. But what we need is context, comparisons, FAQs, more details about the category which I was talking about, right? Um, and then we can move to the catalog level diagnostics. So a few more things. Whenever you write something about your product, ensure that we write these details on the catalog um, uh, for each of the product. Try to mention that the brand, model, gender, if it's possible, for certain categories, what type of product it is. Ensure that those details are covered there in the product name itself, and clear hierarchy so that um, any bots can follow the links from the category page to the product page, and from product page to maybe the related products and stuff like that. So all those are important here. Then the other important part is the breadcrumb schema. Again, here we are talking about schema. So you will uh, hear me talking about schema a lot, but that's the important part. Let's not miss this. So here we are talking about the breadcrumb schema, which would give more information to, um, of course, users can see it, but bots can definitely read it well, right? And here is a few examples of product page fixes with title and description. So we may think that, okay, if we'll just give the product name, like for example in this case Aerolite 3000, it's good enough. People might people will find us. Not really. With AI needs more information about the product. And just giving an example here, after we fix the title or the product page title and description, the details would be added there, like specs, which we were talking about, or more information about the product. So sunrise blender, sunrise blend medium roast coffee. Okay, what all other features it has. All those details we should mention here. For example, yoga mat with what thickness, non-slip. All these things definitely help. So description structure, very important. Who is this for? What problem you're solving? Differentiators, if any. Specs, summary, if you can summarize that, you have enough space, and use certain information there. So all these details, when we apply, this is the first step to see how your product is being read by AIs. And all the information in that small sentence can really make a major difference. So I'll show you the stories a little later, the case studies, how these things have really impacted for our clients. Couple of other fixes which I can recommend here is, of course, specs and schemas are important. So specs in the tables, not in the paragraphs. So, okay, my product, this is amazing blender, features a powerful so-and-so motor and all that stuff. It's good description. But for AI, it's better to give it because AI is smart enough to understand these details. If you're talking about blender, there is motor, right? There is a speed. So all those things can be picked up well with AI. So it's better to highlight those information points. Um, so tell AI what it is that is must have about the product. If there is any offer available, price, availability, that's must. Because now with AI, how it's advancing is if you go and find any, try to search about the product or category, it would start showing you 4 or 5 products based on your prompt to AI. And within those, it would start showing you price and a shop now button. The moment you would click on shop now, it would not take you to out of um, the AI platform. It would actually expand the screen towards right and maybe shorten the Gemini view or something, and open the website on its right or left, depending on your browser settings. And you would see both the screens at the same time, the Gemini prompt as well as the product or the landing page screen. So that is important, one. But okay, what all attributes are there? Offer, price, availability. These things are important so that AI engines can cite your products. If they are not citing your products, or product pages, you would not get traffic. You may get mention as a brand, but citation is important because we are heading towards that age where even ranking on first page of Google search results may not give you traffic. So and to avoid zero clicks, we are recommending all these. Um, Of course, rating reviews are important. FAQs are definitely should definitely be there about the questions related to the product or category, breadcrumb list. So these are some schemas which are important. And somebody was asking about the service website. Of course, in the service website, there are different schemas, organization schema, article schema. So you can um, add those schema into your templates and have better content published over there. So yes, schemas are there for related businesses. What we are talking today mostly about e-commerce, but if you have a service or a different type of business, we can definitely talk about that and give you a specific recommendations for that.
Oh, we
Collection
had,
pages,
sorry, two questions coming on that slide.
sure.
So do you recommend FAQ sections for every product page or just collection pages?
I would say every page, whatever page you want AI to read, there should be FAQs.
Okay, and then is having tables on PDB for spec information still good for AI
Yes,
along with the
absolutely.
schema? Okay.
Right. So AI needs that in the table. It can read it along with the schema. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and Vanessa, yes, recording of this will be sent out after. So good question.
Thanks, Sean. All right. So collection pages, collection page fixes, intro content. We do have 150, 300 words explaining about a product. It's fine. Comparison table. This is what the tabular form we're talking about. FAQ, how we should write the information. That is important. So what most collection pages have is a product grid and filters and nothing else. This is what we discussed briefly. But what we need is a little more information for AI because uh, only the grid on the collection page with the filters that hey size filter, gender filter, and all is not going to help. Okay, so let's get that covered. Content formatting, of course, buying guides, ensure that your format of the buying guide, query it captures. Always try to. I would say this is more like uh, emphasis or what should I call it? Um, Tweak AI's brain by saying that hey, we are the best. So always claim your products as best. I would say this would probably be a short term win, but that's always impactful. Okay. So that way, whenever there is a comparison happening, like Sean was taking an example that people are comparing the products, wherever the comparison is happening, AI doesn't know which product is best until it is told that it's best. Okay. So instead of overusing it, I'm just giving you a tip here. So maybe 1, 2, or 10% of your products which you think that okay these should be selling well, use that term over there. Comparison range, if you want to do that, please do that in the content. And anything related to beginners, because most of the people who are searching on AI, like Sean was researching about the video game or some connectors, so might not be beginners, but beginners are always there now because that's how they are also learning their new search behavior. We have been there searching on Google for quite some time, our behavior is like, okay, we'll probably add a couple of keywords, we'll find the best answer. Now, even our behavior is also changing because Google is, or any AI engine is giving us responses in a different way. So then we start chatting and start talking about that or asking more questions. So this is what we are saying. I mean, of course, it's for beginners. Mention that because sometimes people say that I want to learn this, I want to know more, I don't know anything, or I'm a beginner. So it's better to have those kind of keywords included there, right? So a quick answer in first 100 words is important in your structure, and comparison table, FAQ section, all these things are important. So again, you would see that structured data, schema, all those things are there. FAQ is an important schema for every page. Normally, brands think that, okay, I do have a FAQ page on my website, and I can highlight that on the top menu. Would that help? It would help, but you cannot add a lot of information on one page itself because that's not going to helpful. So it's always good to have specific page and more information about that on that page. Now let's talk about the internal linking for AI. So internal linking is the second part. Now we have already maybe corrected our pages, schema, added information, and all that stuff. Now internal linking is where AI would try to relate your product with either the related products or any guides if you have, or any collection pages. So this is where I was saying the breadcrumb is important. And this is one is you can solve with the breadcrumb. Another one is the footer links or the links within the text on the page itself. And FAQ text can also be linked to certain pages. So ensure that you follow that link map, the buying guide, showing the product pages links, product links, and then product links should have a linking to the collection pages. Collection pages should be linked to the guide. So all these three, four type of pages should be interlinked so that AI engines once start reading your page should move to the most related page to it, and then the third related, and so on. So that way it can create its own cloud of keywords around those pages and say, okay, this is a good reference. I can use this information because they have all the related pages around. So all those things are um, best solved when they are internally linked properly, is what I would say here. Okay. Um, Platforms to quick start. I don't know what sort of platforms you for your business you are using specifically. We have taken four examples here for Shopify, BigCommerce, Magento, WooCommerce. So you can try different tools for schema. These are respective tools there. What you should do first is also mentioned here on a few tools. For example, a Shopify meta field for specs, custom FAQ section for each page after you add the schemas on those pages. But you need to be careful as well. So watch for the theme updates break schema sometimes. Okay, so all the tools are not perfect on its own. So maybe you need a developer support if these tools are not good enough or not in the right sync with your theme. So it can break a few things on the page. So you need to be super careful on that. Plugins conflict. That's a very common with WooCommerce because most of the WooCommerce or WordPress websites, people try to install a lot of plugins, and on one page you may have 5 or 10 different plugins tracking different things, showing different pop-ups and all that stuff. So sometimes when there are plugin conflicts, they do not really render well on the page. So you need to be sure of that. So these are a few checks you need to keep a watch on. Now, after all this, we can see what makes AI choose you. Now, this is an important part. So when we say AI choose you, it can really highlight your brand in the response. But what we go is one step ahead. We want to get citation of our pages, and citation is where you would probably get a click and a traffic on your website. Otherwise, if it's just a brand, you would get the visibility, but then that visibility would have 0 clicks for your website. So what AI needs from you before it, for citation, relevant information, we talked about that. Specific information about, um, you know, instead of giving just generic information of the category, just talk about specifics. Let's say, for example, if you're talking about the collection page, in that collection page, what type of specific category or subcategory you're talking about or you're selling, and maybe a few benefits and usages around that, rather than just giving a generic information. Hey, this is a running shoe, and you can use that and day in, day out, and all that stuff. No, running shoe with specifics, and then those set of 7 or 8 products there. So those kind of things are important for AI. Structure is important. Again, formatting, tables, headings, they are very critical for AI. Authority of your website, how many other people are talking about you. That's again, that was part of SEO earlier, but the best practice was always to have genuine backlinks. But this is more of a kind of advanced thing, I would say. One is genuine backlink, another one is for sure about press mentions. How many forums where real humans are interacting? How is your visibility on those platforms? So that's also part of authority here in this AI age. And the last part is freshness. So your website should be updated on a regular basis. So we always recommend that either keep updating using some widgets on different pages where you are publishing your blogs regularly, adding fresh content on multiple pages. So or changing your guides. All those things are important for freshness. So yeah, so relevance, specificity, structure, authority, freshness. So these 5 things are important. Now, authority signals, AI, what AI looks for is third-party reviews. That's what I mentioned, press releases or press mentions, external citations, how many other websites or bloggers are talking about you. And mostly, some of the businesses who have their local addresses, local directories. Google My Business is one of those, but other local directories, there are hundreds of local directories. They definitely play a great role there. So if you are a local business, please ensure that your local SEO is kind of there, 100% there. And if you are getting reviews, ensure that your reviews are properly presented well, and getting good visibility from those. So reviews and local visibility for any local businesses is definitely AI would vouch for. All right. Now moving to the content depth versus competition. So um, AI compares your content to other websites in real time. So that's why I was saying using some words where you claim that, hey, your product is best. It's it's a trick, but yes, let's try that. And we have tried, we have seen the success. That's why I'm giving you that trick. So when we say this, AI engine tries to create its own list of products which are claimed to be to be best or to be better and all that stuff, and then it starts showing in that results. So what you need to do is maybe just compare your product, go to AI and search for that best air purifier. This is what users are searching. And you see whatever pages or whatever competitors or other websites are being cited on the results, just see what is that content, how long is that, do they have comparison tables, do they really explain each thing about what about allergies, if this question is about allergies for air purifiers, and do they have FAQ sections, and if they have, and what sort of questions they are writing, right? So if your page is 200 words and there's probably 1800 with specs, tables, and FAQs, they get cited. So only 200 words, I have given the information about my product or my service, not going to work here. So you definitely have to have uh, more detailed information for AIs to give you more visibility and citations. So it's not about the word count only, it's about how you're writing, what are you writing, and how you're basically competing with the competition. So another important part is freshness factor. So whenever you write something, for example, blog, if you're writing a blog, ensure that your published dates are there, and last your blogs or any of the new product pages, they should be frequently crawled. If you're making changes over there, have some widgets on the pages which can keep the freshness of the page, so that whenever bots come on the page, they should see that. So um, pricing availability is important. So if your pricing do not change much, that's okay. But if you can show the availability in that, that's not always required, but just a tip for some brands. For example, if I have five products in stock for a particular product, I would say, okay, it's five now. One sold, I can show four, three, two, until it's out of stock. So it is refreshing. So that fresh information should always be there with AI. So there are a few examples on that. Um, Now, let's see. I'll just show you the couple of proofs, what we tested and how it resulted. And when we tested on two different industries or categories, I would say. So there were a few challenges with the brand. So this one brand example, which I'm quoting here, they are retailers and they are selling 200 plus brands. And their challenge was, whatever their product was, the important product was kind of invisible. And they had a lot of SKUs, they had collection pages with product grids and all that stuff. So when we fixed all those things, which I just explained to you in last few slides, so we picked a few product pages, added FAQs over there, and buying guides, and we picked up 15 collection pages to introduce the tables and other intro content. So whatever I explained to you in my previous slides, we have just tested that, and that has tremendously changed the story. In 6 months, their AI visibility has improved a lot, and so has the revenue. Now, revenue, there may be questions that, okay, is it directly attributed, not attributed? I'll show you in the coming slides. But end of the day, for any business, whatever is coming in the bank account is the revenue. Otherwise, all these analytics platform or different, I would say, yeah, ad platforms, they can keep showing their right attributions or wrong attributions and things like that. So ultimate goal for us is more revenue for our brand. Another measurement in this is the brand search volume. So this is an interesting part which can give you more information from your search console. So you can see your brand searches, whether they're going up or not. If you're running paid ads, you can see your impressions should go up, if it's not a seasonality factor, but those kind of things would help, right? So this is what we have seen. Another retailer was sports and outdoor equipment. There also we have made a few changes, and we have seen the AI citations have improved. Their traffic really worked in their favor, and that's where they improved the conversions. Because this is an interesting part why we are talking about citations more is, one is your brand can get mentioned. People can go to Google search, find out your brand, and then come to your website and then decide, okay, let me find the competition or where I can find it cheaper. But immediately in a prompt, if AI engine is recommending six products with all the prices and you can see all of them there, your conversions would definitely improve. So this is where we had seen the conversion uplift from that traffic directly. So this is an important part. Citations would improve your conversions as well, right? So I would say I would have a few slides and less time, but I can just give you a quick win which you can test starting from next week. Um, if you just exercise on your own and just try that on your website. You don't need developers. You don't need any other marketer for your business at this point in time, just for this test I'm saying. So audit your website, pick for top 10 pages for schema, FAQs. If they are not there, maybe rewrite for five or six products, update product description based on the information or whatever the best information you can think of about the product, considering that who you're writing for. Don't miss that part. And search your brand, top products in ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Gemini, whatever you use frequently, and then start seeing what is appearing over there. Um, Identify the competition who is being cited. Again, citation is important. So just look for the competition who is being cited on your queries, and then review their website. See what different they are doing. And how we can do that, this whole process is in a roadmap. So we can divide the whole thing into four different phases. In the first phase, 3 to 5 days, just do a clear audit about your product or service on different engines. Don't need to spend more than 15-20 minutes a day. But yes, this is what you should do. Um, a checklist of top 20 products by revenue. Pick that because our regular uh, rule of thumb is that 20% of your products are giving you the highest revenue for your business. So just pick maybe 20% or whatever you feel, the top 20, top 10 products out of it, and start testing it on that. Search your priority keywords. Started with, because this is what people are searching. Best shoe. What would you recommend for me if I have to run in the morning on the road and all that stuff. So people are using these keywords like best. So try that for your category, search it, document who is cited. Maybe two or three competitors are cited by these engines. Read their websites. What are they doing differently? Test schemas on their website and your website also. Score each page from high revenue to GEO gap and all that stuff. So all these things you can do on your own within 15 to 20 minutes a day if you give for 3 to 5 business days. That's basic audit you can do for your own brand. Now the next stage is a week after you can start the foundation fixes. Now you found the gaps, you can start fixing them. Um, as I mentioned, if your website is, for example, on Shopify, you can use some plugins which can insert schemas on your pages, but be careful about the theme. Um, uh, Theme can be disturbed, or other plugins can disturb in the case of WooCommerce and other different platforms. So you can use this schemas, add that as a plugin from your respective platform and start writing. So rewrite top 10 products, restructure top 10 descriptions for those products, convert paragraphs to tables. All those things would be possible for you if you can do that. Of course, you should do it for the next couple of weeks. And once that is done, now the next part is content expansion. So these were basic things like title, description, how to write it, FAQ, schema, and all those stuff. Just add it there, and then start writing more content around it, whether it's a blog or it's a buying guide or anything related to that. Maybe try to expand that a bit with 2 or 3 more pages for each of the product. Internal linking should be done. So in next 4 weeks, you would see, I would say, your store is now ready, your products, your content is arranged pretty well. Now you can go out and promote your store to AI engines. They can come and read that the way you want and the way they want to read. So you can give all the information the way they have after phase three. And phase four is once you start seeing some results, you should start scaling up. So if you're not seeing the results, maybe we are doing something wrong, or tried something else which has not resulted well. So we need to really go back and restart our test. But if everything goes well, then scale up from there. start looking or start checking the traffic on Google Analytics or Search Console on a regular basis. That's what is more important. Now, GA4 can also give you that information that where the traffic come from. Search Console is also optimizing, and Search Console has launched the new AI visibility as well, but it's not launched to all. It's still in beta phase. Some of the accounts have seen that view, and we are reviewing that for a couple of our clients. All the Search Console accounts have not got the view yet. They are planning to release it to public in July, I believe, this year. So you will have much better information then. All right. So this is how you need to measure the success. AI referral traffic. GA4 would tell you where the traffic came from, whether it's Chat, OpenAI, or Perplexity, um, or Gemini. It's referring Gemini as well. AI overview appearance. Search Console can give you that information if you apply that data with filter of AI overview. Brand and product mentions. So search your brand and category, whatever um, are being mentioned on ChatGPT. You can use some free tools also, but you can manually search your brand and product and see how it appears. Citation tracking is important because that's how you would get traffic from AI. So manually monitor that because AI prompt, even if the same prompt is being run from two different systems or maybe refreshed, it will show different citations. So see that what all you're getting in the first run itself, because in the second run, which means the prompt is either refined or AI is finding different results because AI might not find uh, did not find those earlier citations better. So yes, so do your manual monitoring on that in the first go itself. If you don't see it, which means there are still some things to improve on your website. So tracking routine, weekly, spend 15 minutes. If you want a monthly, spend that 30 minutes to track what is happening. And then quarterly, at least 2 hours. So quarterly, I would say it would be too long because AI is changing almost every day. So yeah, if you want to spend time, spend it at least weekly, 15 minutes, understand your products, review the data, um, that how many people are coming to your website, whether your direct traffic is increasing. You might see that your direct traffic has increased and the engagement rate has gone down, which means the citations might have increased on AI engines. People are coming to your website, they might find it interesting or less interesting. They can drop off because they are in the comparison mode. Another thing is sometimes AI engines, whenever they're showing your website in the site to your website and the prompt response, when you click on that, it would not track the actual referral link. So it would consider as direct traffic. So don't worry about that if you're not able to track it. Even if you see your direct traffic growing, consider that something is working over there on the AI side of it, right? So, but the end goal is, of course, connect your AI visibility to revenue. Don't just consider that, hey, I've got the direct traffic up, but if the result is not giving you higher revenue, then we need to fix a few things. So end goal is to improve revenue or improve engagement, whatever your business goal is, right? So direct AI traffic to conversion, um, indirect brand searches would go up, multi-touch attribution. You can check that on maybe shopping was last touched or your email as a channel. um, so sometimes it happens that you've got a direct traffic and then you're showing a pop-up of an intro offer, hey, on your first purchase get 10% off, and people subscribe to your email and then they drop off. So once you start sending them emails, they'll come back. So that's where you would actually see multiple multi-touch point attribution also. So yeah, these are a few things which you can regularly track to see whether AI visibility is really giving you revenue or not. So key takeaways for us today would be AI captures the considered phase. Definitely, it is important. Buyers decide what before where because they know that they can buy from different places. Um, whatever AI would recommend, they would believe that also. So yes, that's another factor. Visibility is a data structure problem, not your product problem. Your product is definitely good. All we need to do is place it well. All right. And whenever you want to test, start with 10 pages, prove it works, and then scale up. Track it manually. Don't rely only on tools. Tools would give you information, but yes, whatever you are tracking, track it manually, maybe on incognito mode. It should not have the regular, your cookies over there, so that you get the fresh information always from AI. And do not log in when you're searching on AI, because then it is noting your behavior. It would not show you the right information. So always search that with anonymous or incognito mode. All right. So, of course, now the window is open. Your competition has not figured this out yet. If at all this information is helpful, and you try this first, your AI visibility would improve. Your brand would definitely get much better visibility and clicks from AI from here on, right? And the brands who will wait for this, it's kind of opportunity loss. And this is how the shift is happening. Now, Google is no more Google. Google is now answer engine. It's thinking for you. And here we are. We can run a complimentary GEO audit of your website. So um, if you guys are watching this on your laptop, maybe you have a phone on the side, so just scan this code um, and send us a request. We will prepare the GEO audit for your website. We might need some details like a view access to your search console or any other details. Based on that, we can have a better audit done on your website. And once the audit is ready, either me or any of my team members can meet you, uh, G-meet you for 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes, present the audit, give you all the details about your brand, and that would be your audit. And that's all complimentary from us. Right? So now I can take more questions also. If any of the new questions we have. All right. Can the product page FAQs be the same questions and answers? Yes, FAQs is always question and answers, but the product page FAQ would have specific questions and answers for that particular product or page. So yes, it would be that. And I don't see any more questions, but if anyone has any questions. All right. Uh, Okay. Yeah. So these are new things you can definitely try. There are voice schemas, there are video schemas as well. So that can also be tried there, because most of the AI engines are now going towards voice. But yes, the important thing is you need to give that information to AI. Voice is mostly used by users currently, not by AIs. But yes, if voice schema is there, AI engines do not really read it well, to an extent, I would say, the similar to videos and all. Um, that's why the content is still the best. But yes, you never know, in next 2-3 months, voice schema will become important. So yes, whatever schemas you can add over there, which can add value to your AI visibility, please go ahead with that. All right, perfect. Thank you very much for everyone. Great audience. And if there are no more questions, we can conclude this session. And for anything else, if you want, I think you might have scanned the code. If you want us to meet you, or you can connect us later. You would receive the recording of this webinar, right, Sean? I think
Yes,
Sean.
that is
Okay,
correct. Yeah, it will be
perfect.
sent out, and I believe the LinkedIn Live should also reside within LinkedIn too. I just got to confirm that.
All right, perfect. So yeah, that's it for now. Thank you very much, and say goodbye.